What's up, guys? Commander Santa here, and welcome back to Buffalo Valley. So, I'm first going to talk about something. I just wanted to first apologize. It's been a while. It really has for Buffalo Valley. That is. For my other stuff, it's I'm caught up in pretty much. But I really want to apologize. Buffalo Valley was kind of backburnered for a little bit, just because like I got sick last weekend. And I kind of got a little, sidetracked with Columbia just because it was fun and it's new, and it took me a little bit to find some more inspiration for Buffalo Valley, which gets onto my second point. I got sidetracked in this park exactly. Like, as you can probably tell by now, I'm not working on the swinging roller coaster. I'm actually working on something else, which is, and if you haven't figured out yet, it's another train station. One of the things that I've been kind of preaching, and I haven't really been following one of the things I preach, is like, especially with my build style, I like to build front to back. I don't like to, place a ride here and then fill in. That's exactly what I just did, and I kind of want to apologize for that. It's, I should be practicing what I preach more a little bit. So this is me kind of like backing away from the swinging roller coaster a little bit and kind of I kind of just had some more inspiration for something other than the swinging roller coaster. I'm not entirely sure what I wanted to do with the swinging roller coaster yet. There's a lot of ideas out there and a lot of things that I really need to sit down and think, and I just did not have the time to do it. So I kind of got excited about doing a few other things, and these few other things involved, Columbia, which is my other park that I'm currently working on. And if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. There will be a link in the description for that. And then Buffalo Valley, which is, my main thing. But one of the side things I wanted to do in Buffalo Valley was I really wanted to get another train station in here. And my path system has been pretty lacking over here. It's been kind of, in all honesty, ugly. My path system's over here just been absolutely ugly. And I kind of left a huge blank area next to Ishway where you walk up next to the pond there and you walk over to the swinging roller coaster. So after I finished this train station here, which we'll get into that in a little bit, I ended up filling in and making like another little restaurant and a few more fenced in areas on the way over here, which kind of backs up to Ishway, and it's really, really nice looking. And then I also filled in a little bit more of the path work, but I didn't really include the build for that just because it was a lot of like screwing with the Planet Coaster path system. And if you guys worked with the path system at all, it's atrocious sometimes. Sometimes you really have to fight with it. And I mean, there's a little bit of me fighting with in this episode, but oh my gosh, it's just a few things. But yeah, I ended up making a little plaza next to the hotel lodge thing there, and it looks really nice, and I really filled in the space, and I kind of regret not doing that before I started the swinging roller coaster, just because I got really excited with making another roller coaster, and it really helped because like it let me reset my creative sense, if you understand what I'm trying to say. It's just week after week it sometimes gets a little difficult to like keep the creative flow, as you can say. Like, I was sitting there with the swinging roller coaster, like, not entirely sure what I was doing. I was just kind of placing trees everywhere, and it's like, I want to theme this more, but I'm not sure exactly how I want to theme it more. And I really need to sit down and actually, like, take a look and stuff, because I really want to incorporate the train into it as well, for a little spoiler in the upcoming episode for it. So if you know where the first part of the swinging roller coaster where it goes out and back really far and it kind of winds in between itself, it's where my cinematic shot from like the last few episodes for it have been coming from, where it swings through the gorge and everything. I kind of want to have a really cool train bridge over it. So I kind of want to incorporate the train somehow into it. So I'm going to do a little bit of testing, and that might be a live stream thing, and just a few other things I need to do that might not make it to an episode, which is just going to be general detailing. The train stuff will make it to an episode, don't you guys worry. But yeah, that's pretty much where I stand with that. I really need to do something else for a little bit. And this is why I'm doing this train station and like the other little restaurant and seating area. It's going to be really nice. I think you guys are really going to like it here. And it was a great change of pace for me. And doing this definitely gave me some more ideas how I want to theme the whole area and everything. And I'm just super happy with it. So let's get into the train station here. Some of you might have, who've been to Cedar Point, should have already figured out what this looks like, all right? Cedar Point is the closest big theme park near me, in all honesty. We have one near me, which is called Darien Lake, which is a pretty good one. It's not pretty good. It's pretty mediocre, in all honesty, but it's a theme park. So if I want to go to a theme park or an amusement park, which has a lot of roller coasters and a lot of cool rides, I go to Cedar Point, which is a good 4 or 5 hour drive for me, but it's worth it. It's completely worth it. And we do it every couple of years, and me and a group of friends or family, and we'll go out there and spend a good long weekend doing all the rides. This was pretty much modeled after one of the train stations they have there. Completely open air, and I put my own little spin on it. I really enjoy the open air train stations because I don't like a fully enclosed train station because with our style here, it doesn't really make sense. You're going to want a place, a little overhang for the peeps to hang out and not get wet if it's raining, but the train comes by and they're going to have to get out from under the overhang and get onto the train. Other than that, that was pretty much it for this train station here. That was pretty much my big idea. And I ended up naming a Genesee station just because it's just kind of cool. I really wanted to incorporate Genesee. And if you remember my other episode, Genesee is a county and a brewing company, which is by me almost. It's like an hour out of where I live in Western New York. And I just kind of want to incorporate everything. And I've officially called it the Buffalo Valley Railroad, which is now on a big sign. So I think I'm going to go back to Alma Station and put that big sign onto it, which is going to be really cool. And I'm really happy about that. It looks really cool, I think. It adds a nice little flair to it. But I am super happy with how this turned out. And you guys should be seeing by now how it turned out. It's almost like it's like a very thin building, and one of the things I did a little bit later was with the front of the train station. So where the path comes up to the front of it? I ended up changing that from like those swinging like barn doors to a information kiosk, which makes a heck of a lot more sense, in all honesty. So it actually gets people to walk up there, and it actually looks like they're buying tickets to get on the ride, which is really cool. Even though they can't get on the ride yet because it's not open yet, because the train station is like the ride that will never be open until we're done with Buffalo Valley, I bet. It just kind of, it adds a little bit more life to it, like in real life, you wouldn't really like get and wait onto a train and then get on the train. Well, I mean, like in an actual amusement park you would, but like if we're modeling it off of like an old frontier train station, you'd walk up, buy your ticket, and then get onto the platform and wait for the train to show up. And that's what I wanted to achieve here. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I think you guys will be too. And definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think. One of the other things I wanted to model was making the platform actually look like a nice concrete platform that you just like, it's a nice big area that you like sit there and hang out on until the train shows up. And I'm very happy that I ended up like screwing up at first and raising the train station like, I think it was like a tick or a meter or whatever. I think it was probably half a meter, I think. And it actually worked out it looks really cool because it's raised up a little bit, so the entire platform is raised up, but the path is lower. It's going to look really cool. I didn't get a chance to completely detail around the train station because I spent a little bit more time filling in the area down the path towards Ishway a little bit, but we'll definitely get to that. That'll probably be a live stream thing on probably this Saturday, but I'll probably include some cinematic shots for the next episode, which should be coming up sometime at the end of this week, because I'm going to be changing around scheduling so I can give myself kind of like the weekends off. I mean, otherwise I want to like dedicate time for live streams on the weekend, but other than that, I've been spending a lot of time working on these videos like over the weekend because I work full time, so just give myself a little break on like, for sure, Sundays, nothing to do, which is fantastic, which is what I ended up doing over the weekend past, and it was absolutely glorious. So definitely look forward to that. I think right now we're pretty much wrapping up the train station as long as we're lined up correctly. There's a few parts where I wasn't really sure of, just with the way the paths came about, because I wanted the paths to come like out beside each of the station and come to the front. So I had the overhang supports kind of like sitting in the middle of the path at first, and it didn't really look good. So I did a little bit of like screwing around and making it look better a little bit later. I think it turned out pretty good. So I hope you guys agree with me with that. I think this thing turned out really good. Sometime this week I will upload this to the Steam Workshop. I'm currently recording this episode on my birthday, so happy birthday to me, but like sometime during this week I'll get to the point and be able to like finish up uploading this to the workshop so you guys can place in your park and stuff, because I think it turned out really well. I'm very, very happy with the way it turned out. But yeah, you can see me screwing with the paths a little bit, and then around now is when I start to like change the way the overhang supports itself. And I did a few takes of it, but I am super not happy with it at all until I finally figured it out. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was if you saw the little stairway to the right of the building, it goes up to the second floor, which I thought was really cool. So I think the second floor would be either like, I don't know, where like an overnight place for like a train conductor or something, or like a good place to like sit down and meet when talking about train stuff. I don't know. It's just something up there. I don't know exactly how like full entire train systems would work back in the frontier times, but I figured like the upstairs area would be, like a bed and like a bunch of like documents and stuff talking about like the railway and a few other things for the workers on the railway to actually get, some information if they need it. So that was pretty much my idea with that. And I remember seeing like in a few like old pictures of like frontier railroads, they would have, that second floor with an external like staircase, and it just kind of looked cool. So I wanted to add it. That was pretty much the extent of my thought process for that. Excuse me. So right now we have moved on to the little restaurant area, and I am pretty happy with how it turned out. It was a pretty simple building, but I wanted something a little bit more, how do I want to say, a little bit more contemporary, even though we're still using the old wood style, just because we're so close to Ishway. I didn't want to like diverge from the color from the old wood and like change it into like the colorful or more modern style that we're getting, nor did I want to change it into a brick style. So I wanted it to become a little bit more in the theme that we have for Ishway, which is, like the big mountain coaster, big mountain lodges, and that kind of stuff, if you guys know what I mean. So after that, I ended up like doing a little side area, which was like a nice little seating area. And I accidentally screwed up the recording again, but I made it these really cool little patio chairs with umbrellas on them. So you can go grab your food, which is, I think we have a hot dog squad, fries, and milkshakes, I think. Yeah. And you can go sit over there and sit down, get out of the sun, and talk to your family or friends and eat your hot dogs and drink your milkshakes, which is pretty cool. And other than that, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I really like the raised section in the back where it was like almost like an overlook point. And then what I do with the side of it, you guys will see in a little bit, I was really, really happy with. I wasn't detailing super heavy, and I have a little bit more detailing to do to the back of the building, just so like the roller coaster, if they happen to be looking over at the direction of the building, it doesn't look like a flat plain wooden wall, which would be boring as crap. But yeah, there's a few more details I have to do with this, and then it's pretty much solid. And after this, I am pretty much done with this area over here. So I can finally next episode move back to the roller coaster like I was talking about, and really start working on that area over there. Now, we're kind of like, if we like back up a little bit and zoom out as we, would in game, we're starting to run a little bit out of room. It's cutting it close, but not in the near future, but more of like a little bit middle future, if that makes any sense. I'm definitely going to have to like finalize some ideas and definitely try and maybe combine some ideas and stuff, but that haunted forest is going to happen, and I expect that's going to take up a little bit of space just due to my idea for like a dark ride. I did want to get a chairlift in here to go up to one of the rides. That shouldn't take up a lot of space. And then we had talks on the live stream one day about having a kiddie area, so I definitely want to do that. And I want to have a kiddie, like a little kid coaster, maybe like Fort Ticonderoga themed or like an old Fort Niagara themed, which would be really, really cool. But that was pretty much my ideas for that. But yeah, we're cutting it pretty close to space just because I have my mountain super huge. And the general setup for this, this map, I guess, is you have that one river that's running there in the distance, and you almost get like an escarpment down to the river, but it's in our build map, and I don't want to get rid of that because it looks really nice. It looks absolutely nice, and I want to put a hotel over there or something, because I think that's going to be absolutely great. It's going to have some amazing views and like on the outside of the park. So that's kind of my ideas for like the near future. But kind of what I'm trying to get here is, I think Buffalo Valley is pretty much over halfway done. And I kind of want to talk about that. So I think when Buffalo Valley is completed, I'm definitely going to release it on the Steam Workshop and definitely let you guys play with it because, this is our project. And in the near future, what I see is I don't think we're going to be going past episode 30. Recently, I just kind of started to figure out that I need to speed up my time lapses a little more. And I was getting kind of slow in adding content to this. I was doing like a building an episode, and in all honesty, I wasn't really too fond of that. So I ended up speeding up the time lapses a little bit and adding a few more objects and a few more things to be building in the meantime. So let me know what you guys think about that, because in this episode it was pretty fantastic because like I built the train station, I filled in a few other things, and then I built the Ithaca Food and Drink. Yes, I named it Ithaca Food and Drink, which aside is, Ithaca is, if you guys know Cornell, it's Ithaca College. It's a really beautiful place out there. Absolutely beautiful place. So coming back from the aside, yeah, I built the food and drink area and the courtyard, and then the other courtyard next to the hotel, so I did a lot this episode. So I'm very, very happy with that. And that's kind of like the speed I kind of want, because I feel like one building an episode gets a little bit boring, unless the building is super, super huge, which I don't really, that's perfectly fine. I'll do a shorter episode for that if that's needed, but a few more, I want to work a little bit more on Buffalo Valley and give more time for adding a lot more objects to keep it more interesting, Just kind of my thoughts, I guess. I'm getting a little off topic, but yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. So definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. Definitely check out my other project, which is Columbia. It's a BioShock Infinite theme park. Link for that in the description. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next episode. So make sure to like this video if you really enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and definitely join our family. We're a lot of fun, I'd say, I'll see you guys at the live stream on Saturday. I'm not sure exactly what time yet. I'll definitely post on Twitter @CommandoSantaYT if you haven't followed me yet. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Cheers.